Hey, I started recording video, so I thought I'd go live. I want to tell you guys, parents, don't ever be disillusioned into the thinking that you are not teaching every second of every day in relation to your children. If you are interacting with your child, you are teaching your child something. I need you to become aware of that because you are losing too much precious time, especially under the assumption that you're going to be here tomorrow, that they're going to be here tomorrow. Because life's not promised to any of us, right? So, when our oldest son came home to stay with us, we all sat down, had a family meeting, all got on the same page, and it was like, okay, this is how we're all going to work as a collective and run this household. It wasn't mom and dad are in charge, it was everybody played their position. And in that respect, the boys started moving how they're supposed to move. But then Andre went out of town and the dynamic shifted back to just our regular dynamic. We had to insert a new variable in order for things to change. The variable changed the family. The family did not change because as soon as that variable left, the family went back to old practices. And so in that, when the variable came back from out of town, the variable reverted back to his old practices. So everybody had a brand new energy until that energy was broken. That's kind of like when you go on vacation, and when you're on vacation, you turn into the you're supposed to be, right? And then everybody, wants to capture that vacation energy, but they don't know how because they don't know themselves. If you knew who you were, you would know how to be how you want to be whenever you want to be, because you can literally manipulate yourself. The reason why you are out of control right now is because you have not paid enough attention to yourself. I can't help it, I just pop off. You can't help it because you have not wanted to take the time to figure yourself out. You figured yourself out as deep enough to know I just lose my temper. Accept me for me, I just lose my temper. That's as much as I want to know myself. But it's possible to know yourself to a depth where, I pop off, but why? Oh, this is a multitude of trigger points, not just one thing. Now I got to sort out 10 different reasons why I pop off. So the reason why we don't want to dig deeper is because it's tentacly, right? I pop off, that's one thing. I can accept that and bully the people around me into, you accepted me for me or what? Because this is as deep as I want to go. Or I could say, I don't like treating people this way. And I know the people that I say that I love don't like being treated this way. And in knowing that, I know that they're tolerating me. And do I truly want to go through life being tolerated? If you do, boom, you just pop off. But if you do not want to go through life being tolerated, then you got to dig a little deeper. And this is the true shadow work. This bullshit y'all out here calling shadow work, that's not shadow work. This is my shadow work guidebook, i.e. the first time I ascended, I documented everything and I put it in this book available on Amazon. I teach you how to heal yourself, to ascend yourself, where you can sit here and channel just like that. I've always channeled, but had no idea I was channeling. But now I know I am in a conscious state where I can turn it on and off. And it was just a couple of months ago when I discovered Sarah Landon. She channels the council. But even before then, it was Abraham and it was Ramtha. In 2013, I was studying channeling back when channeling was of the devil. And you had to pretend you were like, but now y'all downloading, so it's okay. No, you're channeling. You keep your cute little language to make your occult adjacent activities okay and palatable, but understand that this alchemy came from the occult. all of these things, this magic, this black girl magic, that's of the occult. So all these things that you have allowed to accept into your life and into your culture, even though you say, stay away from them, Jay-Z and Beyonce, how many of the things at the very surface level? Because remember, life is a pendulum. I've always said this thing, and then I read in this book, it's a spectrum. Look, I say this stuff, but I don't know the jargon because I'm downloading it. I'm not reading it in a book and now I know, oh yeah, that's shadow work. I don't know what the fuck it is. Just ask yourself why. Why the hell do I just pop off? Get into them tentacles. And you're going to realize you pop off for a multitude of reasons. If you're really in the self-love journey, universe, which is yourself, universe is just us in our separation, third dimensional 3D world separation mindset, because we've been taught since we were children we are separate from God. To say that you are God is blasphemous. Straight ticket to the hot spot. So we have been taught since inception that we are separate from God. And so for us to identify any part of God within us is a battle within yourself. No wonder you hate yourself. Just think about how you treat yourself. And then be honest with yourself, because it doesn't matter to me. I'm not in your life. And our levels, the pendulum, the levels of our hating ourselves varies. My hating myself when I was younger was having a lot of promiscuous sex, drinking copious amounts of alcohol to prove I could take 20 shots of Henny too. I don't know how many shots I did, but 20 popped in my head. Lord Jesus, if I was taking 20 shots of Henny. Whew! My hating myself looked very different in my 20s. And we have to understand, if we're constantly evolving creatures, then every aspect of your evolution, you're hating yourself, because the goal is to become like God, 100% divine love. God is love, so that is the key. So if we are constantly overturning ourselves and overturning ourselves and overturning ourselves to become more into our divine loving self, then we're always going to have a percentage of us that dislikes ourselves. I will no longer say hate, but there's always going to be a percentage of us that dislikes ourselves, because you should never be satisfied with yourself until you have achieved God consciousness. Isn't that the goal? Now, if we are looking at ourselves from a negative standpoint, I hate myself. I don't hate myself present day, but there are still manifestations of myself where I am not being loving to myself. You see how the language has changed from I hate myself to how can I love myself more? I can consume more water. I can remove meat from my diet. I can eat more vegetables and fruit. I can walk more and do more exercise. My expression of how I can love myself more, formally self-hate, but my expression is no longer going out and partying all 3 weekends, no sleep, bending over backwards for niggas that let me know I'm just another bitch, and that's okay, as long as I'm the top one, as long as you're taking me shopping, all that dumb stuff. And I'm not mocking it. If you in it, be in that shit. Like, be a fucking gangster. Like, if you about that bag, be about that motherfucking bag. That's my only advice. I'm not judging. She was I. So I understand that mentality, and I don't condemn that mentality. The only condemnation that I have is you are 40 years old still in that mentality. Something tripped. Something tripped in your brain, housewives. Something tripped in your brain that you are 40 and 50 years old and you are caught in a cycle. And it's cool. You are caught in the cycle because that is where your money is. So you must continue to sell yourself out, even though you probably do not live this life when you are off camera. But you are caught in this cycle in order to keep your bag. That's why you have to get your bag based on your authenticity. If you get your bag based on anything besides your authenticity, and my authenticity is in my evolution. Therefore, you cannot box me in. If you want to capitalize on me, you cannot box me in. Any future contracts, you cannot box me in. You have to leave space for the evolution, because the evolution is what this is. Do you understand? What's coming out of my mouth today would have not came out of my mouth seconds ago. My evolution is so rapid, and it's not even so much as an evolution, it's just my brain is firing. So I see everything. It's like fucking cerebral. My goodness. That might be my new nickname. And that's why my forehead's so big. Let's go, young cerebral. I like that. Fucking cerebral. I identify with that. Like, I feel that right there in my heart chakra. That is confirmation that that's how my brain works. Like, my brain is able to tap into other people's consciousness, and I could just, at the drop of a, start downloading messages for you. It's really crazy. And I'm just now coming into the confidence of it all. It's just so fucking beautiful. And I want all of you to come into the confidence of it all, that it's fucking beautiful to be you too. I am the same little girl who used to hate herself too. I'm the same person who grew up in a household who taught her to hate herself. By not teaching your children how to love themselves, you are teaching them how to hate themselves. Because now they have to go outside of themselves, because nothing has taught them to go within themselves. And now when they go outside of themselves, and the primary person they should have been coming to was you, but you blocked them for whatever reason, probably because you don't know who the fuck you are, and you got to admit that to your kid, that yeah, I'm fucked up too. No, I'm just going to demonstrate that I'm fucked up in the way that I'm living. Remember, if you want to know, don't look at the smoke and mirrors. Watch. That's why when you're like, I didn't teach my kid that. You either taught your child that, or you left your child exposed to go learn it somewhere else. Inadvertently, back it back up to you. You taught them that too. So we have to understand, and that's the point that I was making in the beginning of this, you have to understand that every second, every interaction, you are teaching your children. And I know that's a lot of pressure, but think about that before you lay your ass up and have a kid. Every second of everything, even when you go to work, do you get up and go to work with joy, or do you get up and go to work fucking pissed off? Think about your parents and how I never saw my mom go to work a day in my life. No wonder my ass don't work. My mom somehow was taken care of her entire life by somebody. I don't know. A lot of the time it was her family, but my mom was only homeless when she wanted to be homeless. I was only homeless when I wanted to be homeless, and then when I wanted a home, I had a home. And if you just sit back and review your life and see, when you wanted to experience something, did you experience it? And when you didn't want to experience something, did you stop experiencing it? Like, we have this control over our life that we just hand it on over to this happened because of this. And that's why Divine told me my ascension and my come up, so to speak, in worldly terms, you know, it can't be cohesive. It can't be one thing. It has to be, okay, she started here, then somehow she ended up over here, and then she ended up over here, and then somehow she ended up over here. It's going to have to be disjointed, because in the human logical brain, you guys will say, oh, she got it through TikTok. Oh, she got it through, you know, being a speaker. Oh, she got it through being an author. Oh, she got it through. No. I'm going to get it through so many different ways that you guys are going to be like, one, identify with me and say, yo, if she could do it 20 different ways, I could at least do it once. And one of those 20 different ways is, if you see me and I resonated with you, it means one of those 20 different ways was one of your ways. I have no copyright on anything. Take whatever you want. That scene in Forrest Gump, or pretty much the whole movie, Forrest Gump literally went from one part of the coast to the next part of the coast, dropping game that people made millions off of. And then ever once did Gump come back and say, yo, you owe me something. No, because Gump understood, and what I understood is that I am a message deliverer. If you are within earshot of what I'm saying, I am speaking to you. I am speaking to you. The 2 seconds that you spend on my live, I am speaking directly to you. And whatever you have been dealing with in your life and you are seeking answers, listen to what the fuck I'm saying. Allow the seed to be planted into your head. Stop listening to verbatim, thinking I'm saying what I'm saying, because I am never saying what I'm saying, especially when you're applying it to your experience. And if I'm speaking to 20 people at once, guess what? Every single application is going to be different. But you're all hearing the same words. Do you understand? So if you limit yourself to the words that are coming out of my mouth, if you limit yourself to that, then you are going to miss the message that was for you. And this is how you have to turn around and experience it again, because you are listening from third dimension. There is only one way. You must expand your thinking and your understanding if you want to ascend to higher dimensions of consciousness, to understand that there is more than one way to do things, correct? You and your spouse cannot get along because there's more than one way to do things. And you think they're just being stubborn. No, they truly believe their way is the only way. Just like you believe your way is the only way. Why? Because for 18 years, your parents demonstrated inflexibility, and they demonstrated their way is the only way. And when you got old enough, you said, if I could just do it my way would be the only way. And then you get with your spouse, and your spouse is like, yo, I had the same vision. My way is the only way. So if my way is the only way and your way is the only way, we're going to get in each other's way. So you have to understand that the issues that you're having with your spouse and raising your children and moving your fucking marriage forward, again, what is coming out of my mouth, and you're like, well, I don't have kids, so she ain't talking to me. Meanwhile, you sitting next to your spouse and y'all ain't been talking for the past 2 weeks. She ain't talking to me. She talking about kids. No, I'm talking about interpersonal relationships. You cannot come in as your individual self, and he cannot come in, or she cannot, or they cannot. Please don't make me have to go through all these different this, and this for you to feel included. Understand your message is your message, period. No matter how it's delivered. Do not exclude yourself. Lack thinking. Do not exclude yourself just because someone did not identify you. I will sit and watch somebody. I can learn something from this tumbler right here. Do you understand? Everything is teaching and learning opportunities if you take advantage of them. And this is what I need you to understand for your life. If you want to move into the space of your evolution where you know that you're evolving, because most of you are pretending. It's okay. You have to pretend first. The problem with you pretending is you not admitting to yourself that you're pretending. Because in truth, you are in your truth. But let me just tell you to activate your ascension. You're faking. Boom, boom. Eat it. You're a fake. You're a phony. Even I'm a fake and a phony. Why? Because there's a better version of me out there. And some of us have to hear it the hard way in order for us to receive the message. You know what I'm saying? People talk to me about how I talk to my husband. And I believe that I'm intuitive enough. And I'm going to take the word believe out, because I believe. No, I'm going to take the word believe out. I know that I'm intuitive enough to speak to my husband the way that he needs to be spoken to at the time that he's being spoken to. What I always believed was telepathy, which is telepathy. So I don't need to study telepathy. I'm telepathic. I can read your mind. That's how I'm able to channel messages from your higher self. That's exactly what it is. Boom. I am telepathic. Yo, that's dope. Anyway, I always thought it was telepathy with my husband, how I always knew what he was going to say before he said it. I always knew how he felt. That's just people. I remember when I lived with my mom in 2013 and she was, going through her last days here on earth. And she came and yes, I treated my mom like that on her last days on earth. I'm sorry. I was in my levels of consciousness. Leave me alone. I apologize. Did I apologize, Mom? I forgave you.
Hi, Mom.
I apologize, Mom. I don't know if I ever apologized for how I treated you in your last days here on earth. My bad. Let's move that into the feminine. I apologize, Mom. I'm sorry. I really could have. Let's move it into the feminine. I'm sorry. That's good. What are you sorry for? Let's move it into the feminine. I'm sorry because when you start your expression of self and your motivation, now the person you're speaking to may not want to hear, bye dear, the person you're speaking to may not want to hear what you're saying, but it's very important for you to hear what you're saying, for you to receive what you're saying as your truth, because only in being able to share your truth, which means you must expand past my bad, I'm sorry, I apologize, for what? That for what is now going to teach you about yourself. So don't be so prideful. Do you understand how the pride is of the devil? Because if you are so prideful that you will not admit you to yourself, you can never fix yourself. Lord Jesus, I gotta tell old girl, Shar, I gotta tell Shar, she gave me a rock, a crystal, over at the metaphysical store. Mind, Body, and Beyond Wellness Center. Check us out. Book your appointment today. LonnieLifestyle.com. Learn all about me. Anyway, Shar, because I'm like, it's so crazy because I'm like, everything I say I want to do, I'm already doing. Because I'm like, how can I open up my intuition? I bet you if I just accept it, but I just accept it, I'm telepathic. Because I was like, ooh, I want to learn telepathy. And I always joked around in the past like I'm telepathic, but I didn't know how to use it. But now I know how to use it. Kind of, sort of. There's still levels to it, but I don't know how to use it where I could tap into people's brains, so you're safe. But I do know how to use it where just in conversation with me, I'll start telling you what you need to know. Everything that, ask everybody. I tell them what they need to hear. And so, my mom, a lot of stories going. My mom, she walked up to me and she's like, a lot of times you read my mind. Did you know that? And I was like, yeah, I bet you Bailey reads your mind too. She was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, we all read minds. I was just like, I bet you read our minds too. And she's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, it's a thing. I didn't know what it was, but I just knew it was a thing. And, it was adjacent to telepathy. But also there's levels of telepathy where you can plant thoughts in people's ideas, in people's minds. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not in the space of telepathy where I can plant things in people's minds, but I am in the space of telepathy where you can plant things in mine and then I can answer them for you, if that makes sense. So right now it's a one-sided relationship and I feel taken advantage of, but you can show me your gratitude by paying for my services. Y'all can figure yourself out through my videos, but I tell you guys as much as I can, but it's so jumbled up, right? There's no, if I watch her videos in order, maybe there might be a code because everything is mathematics. Anything that actually moves forward is founded in math. Anything that doesn't move forward is founded in whatever else, the arts, I don't know, but this world is just it is the Matrix. It's just one big math problem to be solved. And it's solvable. All right, so my mom with the telepathy, and then the chick in the metaphysical store, told you guys about. Mind, Body, and Beyond Wellness Center. I'm having my first sister circle November 19th here in Phoenix, Arizona. Just check out Lonnie Lifestyle events and classes, because I'm going to start teaching classes too. So just check me out. We about to really, if y'all are serious about your healing journey and you're willing to invest in yourself, like you're going to college, you're going to Professor Lonnie's class, I will teach you how to master this shit. And yes, you're going to have to pay for it, but are you worth it? You tell me. You tell you, because it don't matter to me. Because I'm attracting into myself people who know they're worth it. People who know their true worth, who have true self-love, who's willing to invest in themselves, not in buying outside things to make everybody else think that they're cool, but to invest in the inside things so that they themselves think that they're cool. Because your value is in what you know you are, not what your outside world believes you are. So that is the lesson for you to understand. That you can invest in yourself, it's okay. And guess what? You'll be a trendsetter. Because very soon, once it becomes widely known that there is someone walking this earth that can help people solve their problems, one, it's going to become a problem. But two, like, this lady complained the other day because I have to do the practical part of my massage therapy certification. So I have to do my massages. This woman complained the other day because I, a trainee, gave her a massage. And I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, lady, do you understand the pride point you will feel in a few to be able to say, Lonnie Appleton gave me a massage? Like, y'all don't even understand the gift. And this isn't me being full of myself. I've known this whole time, but I've never said it because I've never been comfortable and say it, because we're disillusioned into believing to speak pridefully of ourselves, the right kind of pride, not the pride that keeps you so bottled up that you cannot admit to yourself who you are to heal yourself, but the type of pride that we should have, which means I know what I'm capable of. Can I brag about what I'm capable of? And the answer is yes. I don't need your permission, but I do need you to understand that this is not me being full of myself, but the honor to sit on a live with me. The honor. Look, I stood next to Beyonce and Destiny's Child outside of the Staples Center, and I was so prideful. They're them girls from BET, and they got all them videos and people paying me and my cousin more attention than they paying them. Let's look at where Beyonce is today. And the fact that I stood next to this woman so prideful that I couldn't go up to her and say, yo, I see you doing your big. I'm so proud of you. Every single one of them. I'm so proud of you. But we're so pitted against each other. Our live trajectories were not even close. Even though I was writing songs, and I swear, no, and yes, that is my song. Because the beginning of the lyrics are exactly, and maybe we channeled the lyrics at the same time. God gives things in threes, who knows? But I know my cousin left my song notebook in an airport in Houston, and the next thing you know, they singing my goddamn song. Boy, I know you want me. I could see it in your eyes. Those are my lyrics. Jean-Claude Van Damme, whatever your name is, Fuji guy. What's his name? I don't want to disrespect him. Hold on. I can't think of his name. Ron. He's got a lot of fucking names. Wyclef Jean. It was important for me to do that because I pressured myself in, you're taking too long, Lonnie. Okay, but how many times in your lifetime do you get to see someone sit and recall information in their head? I literally recalled something from my database so that my cerebral, so that you become aware that you also have the ability to recall things in your database. If you've learned it in life, you can recall it. And that's how you truly prevent dementia, because you're exercising your brain. You're not just recalling the things that are immediately recalled, i.e. I pop off, right? That's easily recalled. You want to be able to recall the 10 reasons why you pop off and the 10 solutions associated with that. It's constantly all these different things. God is delivering a message about money through me right now, and it's really crazy because all this time I've said I will tell you every aspect about your life except for finances because I know nothing about it. But God told me, in order for me to evolve into the space of wealth understanding, not just experiencing wealth, but truly understanding wealth, I must dissect it all the way back to being able to be comfortable in speaking about money, not in the woe is me aspect of things, because that's what keeps us trapped in the woe is me aspects of things, but to be able to speak about money from the space of, okay, this is why we think these things, and this is what's truly happening. And I'm really just stalling because I lost what I was talking about. But I'm dropping a series right now about money. And they tell you, you shouldn't listen to people who aren't experiencing what you're not experiencing. But that is true to a degree. But also what I received and what I was saying is because I am not experiencing financial wealth right now. It's just, well, I can have this conversation without it being implied that I am speaking this over my life. Can I please teach? Like, please let me teach. In my physical world, it is not manifesting. So under the theory, we don't listen to broke people about making money. That makes sense, but when you're in the spiritual realm and you also understand me as a teacher, I have made it a point to not speak about money. I'm not giving y'all no advice about it, and I'm not giving you advice now. I'm just downloading this stuff. I'm sitting here with my pen and paper too, like, okay, now what? Because a person who is adamant about not speaking about money is now telling you, you might want to pay attention to those quote unquote broke people who start talking about money. And it's not just talking about money. Again, at the beginning of the live, I told you, you can tell a lot about a person simply how they live their lives. Not how they present to you, but how they live their lives. That's why it's important for me to show you my family. It's important for me to go live. It's important to me. Somebody asked me, back in the day where they were like, why are you disciplining your children on live? Why are you showing this? I'm showing this so you can see that I walk it like I motherfucking talk it. You can see how I live my life, and then you can measure that against what I'm telling you. If you pay for one of my classes, if you pay for a one-on-one, if you pay for mentorship, this is what you're getting. You guys always buy into these programs of this is what you're getting because they got on the outfit, they got on the makeup, they're doing the whole sales thing. They all read the same marketing books. Human Psychology 101. You guys are so fucking reptilic brain. You don't even understand how underling your brains are. And that's not me talking shit. It is me talking shit. Yes. Y'all don't understand that marketing is literally just sex, money, hoes, and clothes, all it knows. That's all y'all feast on. All day, money, hoes, clothes, and sex. That's all y'all feast on. Level the fuck up. Think about the marketing that you consume. Think about, they got steamy McDonald's commercials. Like sex sales. Why? Because that's where your head largely as a collective resides. Trust me, if sex stops selling, they stop selling it. Do you understand? Every time you want to criticize a pinky doll, there will not be a pinky doll. And I love you, pinky doll. I'm just using you as an example because you receive so much hate. We say we want to see a black woman get in her bag, and then when we see her get in her bag for something that we are somehow so offended by, it should be infended. We are so offended by that we must be vocal about it. Like, if you truly didn't care, let sis's 15 minutes go by. Because that's what you swear she only got is 15 minutes. So why don't you just let it go by without your attention? But you got a problem with it so much that you're paying it attention. Pay attention to that. Do you understand? These are the tentacles. You trying to figure yourself out. You trying to figure yourself out with this topical BS. I'm telling you, I wrote the book. You should pick it up. Are you worth $14.50 or 99 cents? I don't know. $16. Let's just round up. Are you worth $16? Just to see if there is something in this book that may help you? Just make sure the seller's Lonnie Taylor. I just think that you might be worth it. I don't know. You do. And those of you who have a bigger budget, do you think you're worth $255 on a one-on-one hour conversation to say, yo, Lonnie, actually, you want to know what that? I channel a message, which means you tell me what you're concerned with. I'm concerned with my finances. I'm concerned with whatever your concerns are. I channel a message from your higher consciousness, which answers all those questions, which means when we do get our hour or half an hour, whichever you choose, but I'm speaking from the hour perspective because you're investing at least 60 minutes into yourself. You're worth that, right? If you understand that I am helping you to the degree that I'm helping you and I'm just running my mouth on this live, then I can help you if you were to say, yo, Lonnie, I'm happy I could bend your ear. Boop, 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 boop. And I just start downloading on your behalf. Are you worth that? Are you worth the mentorship where I could actually teach you to do this shit for yourself? Are you worth that? And these prices right now are stupid low. Y'all got to stop limiting yourself at your current circumstances. $225 to who is what? I used to eat $225. I can't eat it right now, but I used to eat $225 by myself.
Mommy.
Not to mention what Dre eating. So let's stop the lack thinking and missing the point. Please go. Missing the point why we are experiencing lack in our lives. Everywhere is lack. Everywhere is lack. Time is lack. That's why I don't think in time anymore. And that's the key to collapsing that thing. That's why I don't rush. One thing I realized when I don't even know where this came from because I started downloading about wealth back then and didn't even know I was doing it. Wealthy, rich, get caught up on the language if you want to. They don't rush. They move real fucking slow. They make the schedule. They show up when they're ready. Pay attention. Every depiction that we see, and if you know rich or wealthy people, just watch them. To rush is poverty. To rush is to believe that there is not enough time. So I decided I'm no longer rushing my way through life. Why? Because I'm wealthy. Why am I going to live like poverty? Poverty rushes. Me? So now I have peace when I'm driving through traffic. I'm driving through traffic, like every time I get ready to get into that Lonnie mode, because, I got to drive to and from work now. So I'm back around people and humans. It's real easy to be peace when you sit in a corner in your room. It's a little different to be peace out there in the world. So I understand what you guys are doing, but I had the privilege. Stop stumbling. I had the privilege to evolve alone in my room. So essentially, I went into what a monk would go into, i.e., I separated myself from humanity. But in that separation from humanity, I still interacted with humanity, but I only interacted with humanity on a digital level. I did not interact with humans I'm literally touching flesh as a masseuse right now. It's like really fucking crazy. And so God told me that the leg of my journey to build this audience, because this audience is very important. this was the foundation audience, right? But now I must go into the people. And those of you who follow the journey understand when we had the family meeting and my 11-year-old was like, we getting tired of listening to you. Go get a job and go talk to people. Go tell the people what to do. Like she said it. She spoke it into existence. She said, stop trying to sit here and tell us what to do. Go out there, get a job, and go teach the people. And that's exactly the opportunity that landed in my lap a couple of days ago. Now I have to stand in as a masseuse, which means now I'm doing theory and practical overnight because I didn't come into the game to be a masseuse, but she needs help in that arena. And then when that person complained because I'm a trainee and I didn't pay $118, and I'm not mocking that, but yo, you got massaged by me. Me. If I wanted to, I can go down in history as the greatest masseuse that ever lived, but that ain't my aspiration. But what I am is a 2-time author. But you know, this is TikTok's last month. I don't know what it is, but what it is, I'll take what I can have. Because I don't put value in anything. I don't put value in anything. And that's a state of consciousness. If TikTok ended, and I'll take that and move my videos over to YouTube fully. So thank you for the heads up. But if TikTok ended, that means that leg of my journey ended. And I ain't losing no sleep about that. That means it's time to level up. You know what I'm saying? We cannot hold ourselves anchored down to something that no longer serves us. So if it goes away, then that means there's something else, right? It depends on the God that you serve. If you serve a wishy-washy God that sometimes says, psh, and sometimes is looking out for you, then yeah, a closed door and TikTok ending, your life is over, my God. But if you serve an abundant, infinite, never-ending God, like, yo, who we really believing in? Then you understand when one door closes, another one's been open, but you've been too focused on that one. Do you understand that life has infinite possibilities and outcomes and all these different things can happen? All these different things, life's possibilities are as far as you can make it. This bed and this TikTok that I've had launched me to where I am today, which will launch me to where I am the day after, which will launch me to where I am the day after. So it's all good. I'm all blessed. God has looked out for me every step of my life, and even when I was going through heck and I didn't even understand why. Why me, Lord? I asked more than once in my life, why me? You must hate me. But now I see that even in my childhood state, I mean, I chose to be in those places and those types of things. And so then can we go all the way back to when we chose as a higher consciousness to experience this physical manifestation? We chose. So even in our infancy, even in our toddlerism, even in all those age groups where we really have no control of our environment, our higher consciousness before it came to this lifetime chose that experience, no matter how beautiful, because we can receive that. We could receive that cold cash, hard money if our experience was beautiful. But if our experience, this is healing childhood trauma right now, if our experience was not beautiful, we cannot accept that we chose to experience whatever the fuck we experienced. But I get it. But you have to understand the double standard that you live in, that if you experience a beautiful, wonderful childhood, whatever your definition of a beautiful, wonderful childhood is, if you would have experienced that, and I sat up here and said, you chose that from your higher consciousness when it wanted to come into this lifetime and experience this dense experience, the third dimension experience, when it chose this, It chose that. And you're like, yeah, I know. Ooh, silver spoon looking ass. Yeah, I know. But you flat out refuse it when you went through trauma. Why? Because if you were to accept that you chose at every juncture in your life, first you would understand that you have complete and utter control of your life. Second, boom, they told me to know your power. That is your power. You chose even before you got here what you are going to experience, what you are presently experiencing this very second you are choosing. You can turn me off at any second, and that is your choice. You chose to stay here to this point because that is your choice. And the very next thing that you do after this choice is your choice. You have to understand that your life is your choice. Hate your life, change your life, love your life, do more of that shit. Real simple. We overcomplicate it because they tell us our happiness is outside of ourselves. Our control is outside of ourselves. It is not. I have never been behind the ball. I have always been right before the trend. And being right before the trend, I know if TikTok ends on me, guess what? I'm already on to what's next. I'm doing distant Reiki healing. I'm doing my one-on-ones. I built my platform. I got my merch. I've done it all. I wrote this book in 2013. I've sold more copies of this book in 2023 than I've sold since 2013. Thank you, TikTok. Thank your past. Thank your past for your present. Thank your past for setting you up for your next win. But if you look at your past as something that holds you back and an inability to move forward, you are using your past as an anchor when you need to be using your past as a launching pad. I just lost my job this week. And to worry about that is a choice. You know, like my man said in Paid in Full, niggas lose jobs every day, B. Pull your skirt down. And that's not me being insensitive. That's me saying what you're going through, people go through every day. Every day, people experience job loss. And we can look to their experiences to understand this person lost a job and this is how they experienced it. This person lost a job and this is how they experienced. This person. All these people are unemployed. All of these people are in different levels of unemployedness, not having an income, scared that everything is going to fall apart. And what if it does? Who cares? We were talking about the trucks being in repossession today. Who cares? I told Dre, I think it's about time you released them goddamn trucks. Like, they were junk before. Like, why are you holding on to it out of the pride point of, I'm too old for this, or from the pride point of, you know, I put too much money. Whatever the pride point is that we hold on to dead, dry things, we should just let it go. There's something greater there. And we are holding on to it and causing ourselves more pain and more misery. So we have to see that, yes, you may experience whatever it is that you're going to experience in the loss of income. And in that experience, you can choose to focus on the experience itself, the distraction, or you can start digging into yourself. And I'm actually looking at my book where the title is Working the Roots. So that is confirmation that this is your answer. You need to get to the root of all the anxieties and emotions that you're experiencing through this time of loss, because this is just another loss. Niggas get shot every day. People experience loss every day. I'm experiencing loss right now and I'm chilling. So I am demonstrating you a way to go through loss. You can go through loss like the vast majority, where it's like, oh my God, I'm trying to hold on to shit I don't even want in the first place. You know, or you can go through it where you're just like, okay, why am I experiencing this? Let's do this shadow work. Why am I experiencing this? Let's do this shadow work. And you think you're only releasing stuff related to this, but everything is so tentacly. So as you release yourself in relation to this, which sparked the classroom, but now that you're in the classroom, you could heal so much more about yourself because you're trying to heal this one trigger point. You have to understand that this one trigger point has all these different, tentacles. And so as you heal from this one trigger point, you are now healing all of these things, which branch out to all these different things. So you don't understand how much you are resolving just by choosing to stay consistent enough in yourself to heal one thing about yourself. Just pick one thing. Don't be overly ambitious. I changed my whole life in 8 months. I am a completely different person. I don't even identify as a human anymore. That's how much I've evolved, that I have left the consciousness that sees the limitation of humanity. Like, to be a human is to be limited. And I don't live in those limitations anymore. Now, I don't know how to do the things presently, but I know it's possible. And that is why I'm delivering these messages, to simply let you know that it's possible. And as you continue to ascend, because now that you know that ascension is possible, you will start intentionally, unintentionally, because we're always ascending. We take growing up and maturation as, oh, that's just growing up, maturation. No, those are ascensions. And if we understand that these are ascensions and we're starting to see life differently, and oh my God, we can realize that if this happens involuntarily, I could make this shit happen on purpose. I figured out how to make this shit happen on purpose. And I can teach you. But if you just get to whatever is manifesting in any situation that you're experiencing, you can start healing yourself, because that's what we came here to do. We came here to learn through experiences. And if we never have experiences, so whatever you do go through during this job loss experience, it's a part of your destiny. The learning is a part of your destiny. Do you understand? Everything that I've gone through in my life is manifesting and being utilized as I move in my destiny. So everything, this is how you use your past. Because your past is your destiny. You had to be given this thing. You had to be gifted with that. You had to be gifted with that. And I know that you're receiving it as it was a problem, because it was. It hurt. I get it. It hurts. But this is your gift. If you can pull beauty from ashes, this is your gift. And now that you have this gift and you have it in yourself, and because you were raising your children to be self-aware, but perhaps you weren't raised to be self-aware. And so now you are becoming and coming into the awareness of knowing thyself. And now you can take what was previously trauma, and you felt you had to spend a lifetime working through that. You can actually click into the knowing that trauma is not real. It is a choice. And I can use this to power myself into my destiny. Because the true reason why we came here, merch available at LonnieLifestyle.com. The reason why we came here is to soak up game. Period. We came here to learn. And we chose before we got here what we wanted to learn and experience and create and be a part of. People who are millionaires and billionaires who are still unhappy is because money does not give you happiness. But we still won't believe that, because we believe that money is the root of happiness. But we also should know that money is the root of all evil. We got to stop taking that literally and just think, for the love of money. People do some crazy stuff to get to money. And it ain't even money, it's happiness. They're chasing happiness. They're chasing validation. What is validation? It roots back to happiness. They're chasing love. What is love? Love roots back to happiness. They're chasing, I don't know, popularity. What is popularity? People like me. It makes me feel good, which is happiness. People are just chasing happiness. And if people understood that happiness was from within, then money wouldn't matter. And now all these people who are thinking they're unhappy because they don't have money will actually realize I am happy. I actually do love my life. I'm really not jealous of those people who are flashy. I'm actually not. I don't care. If that's the image that makes you feel the best, most you, then you do it. You do that stuff. The problem is you looking at me because me being this way makes you so uncomfortable that you don't like me. But if I can look at you and say, you know what? Mask on. If that makes you feel good, do you. You'll wake up one day. But who am I to judge you in your state? And because I'm in a state of consciousness where I'm most comfortable in my skin, which I was in training ground, I hated that I had acne. I still have adult acne. But, you know, we all have power in our hands. Those of you who suffer from acne, here's how you heal yourself, okay? We all have a certain level of power in our hands. So we take that power and we talk to our skin. And we tell our skin that we're thankful for it. And we tell our skin that we love it. And we tell our skin, you're going to keep your motherfucking mind right today. You are not going to embarrass me today. Do you understand? Because I love you and I appreciate you. And I know that you love me and you appreciate me. And wherever you put your hands on your face, put them where you break out. There's no specific hand movements. Y'all kill me with that. The hand needs to move where the hands... Oh, that's what my timer was. I'm supposed to be in a Zoom meeting right now. Oh, well. You have to put your hands in these specific spots. It's about intentions. Are you loving on yourself or no? And the way that I love on myself looks different than how you love on yourself. But the key is that you love on yourself. That's how you cure your acne. You're welcome. I aspire to kill disease and cure disease and all those different things. But if I gotta touch humans, this massage stuff, that must be why I'm massaging people right now, because I never in life aspired. Well, I did. I went to school to try to go to massage therapy as one of my career choices, but they wouldn't approve me for financial aid, and that's how I ended up in cosmetology school, which is where I met the chick that I'm working with now doing goddamn massages. Ain't that funny? I must am gonna have to touch humans in the future. And this is somehow a training for me. Don't take nothing for granted, y'all. If you are living in your divinity, if you are living your truth as you know it, and the more that you wake up to your truth is going to evolve. People are always looking at me like, you're always doing something. First you're an artist, and now you're working with clay, and now you're an author, and now you're a radio host, and now you're this, and now you're that. And if you look at all those things that I've done, I've been trying to get a message out. I was like, well, maybe if I put it in a book, they'll listen. Maybe if I put it in audio, they'll listen. Maybe if I put it in video, they'll listen. They'll listen. Maybe if I do art and then I get known for being an artist, when I'm talking, they'll listen. So everything I've done was to get attention, to get people to listen. And it's finally to a point where people listen. And now I can help. So I've spent my whole life frustrated because nobody would listen. And I have to understand that nobody would listen because somewhere in my mind, I thought nobody is listening to me. So somewhere I'm slowly, it's that rubber band I keep talking about, slowly somewhere I'm separating from the idea that, okay, some people will listen to me. Okay, a couple more people listen to me. No, everybody's going to listen to me. Do you understand? Depending on what language you tell yourself, you are limiting your possibilities, all because you don't want people to think that you're full of yourself. Everybody's gonna listen to me. How dare you think that? Because if I don't think that, then I'm limiting myself, and I want to live limitlessly, and you should want to live limitlessly, correct? Like, why are you putting limitations on your life just because society tells you to put limitations on your life? Who's living your life? You or them? So you have to decide who's in charge. At the end of the day, you have to decide who's in charge. You have to decide, because you're not out here alone, right? We are flesh, we are spirit. So you have to decide what your God looks like, because the relationship is so personal. So as you identify what your God looks like, you also have to identify, is a God that you created a false idol? Are you following a false idol? So there's a lot of work in your relationship with your God. Even though your God could be, your God can also be a false idol. So you have to be open to that. I don't know what that looks like for you. And I'm not going to say that because I don't want to offend people. I'm done offending people. I've said enough offensive things in my past that all you gotta do is go pull up one of my old videos. I'm sure I said some offensive stuff, so I don't have to continue saying things that are offensive to live in my truth. Because the truth of it is an ambiguity. I think that's a word, to be ambiguous, which means the least detail that I give, the more that you can identify yourself in the scenario, which is something that I learned from my then 10-year-old. We were writing a book together, and she was not saying the race or the name of the character she was writing, because she said she wanted the people who read the book to be able to put their race and their name into the character so they could identify with the character. And I laughed at it at first because it seemed ridiculous. And then when I started writing after her, because we were shared writing, she would write her part and I would write my part, I started writing from the space of ambiguity too. So it's like, that's really a great idea. The less detail you give about a character, the more the reader can put themselves into the character. But because it's so important for society to design the standard of beauty, they must tell you exactly her long black hair, silky black hair, curly black hair. It was always long though. She never had a short, cute, croppy look. Every once in a while she did. But for the most part, beautiful, all these different things, straight white teeth, chiseled chest. They're telling us the standard of beauty. Therefore, if you do not align with that one standard of beauty, because let's keep it G, okay, there's like 5 prototypes, okay? So if you do not fall into one of these 5 prototypes of the standard of beauty, then how can you see yourself as beautiful? If everything in the society around you tells you that you're not. And then the self-hate begins. So as I wrote this book and I listened to my 10-year-old, I was like, this is brilliant. If you do not deny, or if you do not define what these characters look like, if you don't define the gender of these characters, then whoever picks the book up, first of all, this is a girl book, this is a boy book, it's just a book. And the storyline is to where anyone can play any role. Anybody. They're going to play basketball. Now, because we put genders on it, if you're going to play with dolls, then we kind of know what kind of book it is. But what I'm saying is, that's a whole nother conversation, because I don't know. I'm not even going to go down that road. But what I'm going to say is, if I've put no identifiers in the main character, and the main character you identify with, and the main character is dope as fuck. Do you understand how, as you read this book, and because you can see yourself in the character, because the description is so ambiguous, that she could be short, she could be tall, she could be a he, they could be a them, we don't know. But because we are left to be able to create, and this is a delivery to some author out there. This ain't for me. Like I said earlier in this live, take any idea. I'm Forrest Gump. Shit happens. Take any idea I spit out there, and if you want to credit the source and say thanks, LA, I appreciate it. But otherwise, just share one of my videos as a way to say thank you. Go shop my merch as a way to say thank you. LonnieLifestyle.com. But maybe the main character has long hair. Maybe they have short hair. Maybe they have clear skin. Maybe they don't. Maybe their teeth are straight. Maybe they're not. Maybe their teeth are white. Maybe they're yellow. Maybe they're missing teeth. We don't know. But as our children who are trying to identify who they are in this world are reading these young adult books, please somebody take this idea because it's going to be beautiful for you. Who are reading these young adult books and they're able to put themselves into these characters that they identify with. And Spirit is telling me as you write these books, you need to channel these books. So I know you may consider yourself an author, right? So think about your most favorite author out there and ask to channel their higher selves and write from that perspective, but also understand. So boom, I was going to say, but Spirit just told me. So say your favorite author is someone that writes adult books, but you're writing preteen books, right? And so you're going to take not the adult content, because that's the problem that we're running into, and that's the filth of the world. We take adult content and we make it down for kids. Like my son's favorite YouTuber says "what the freak" all the time, and it pisses me off. But it doesn't piss me off enough where I'll restrict my son from that. It just pisses me off enough to know that this guy has branded himself to a bunch of kids and he thinks it's okay to say "what the freak." But I also am raising my son to be very self-aware, so he knows who he is, and I'm not afraid of outside influences with my child. Somebody's at my door, so I got to go answer my door. And I got to go to the bathroom. So this is intermission. How do I pause this thing? Comment, gift, interact, pause live. So anyway, the whole reason why I got on this thing, and just like that I forgot. I got on here for a specific purpose, but I forgot. Why did I get on this thing? Let me remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Something about black men. Oh, but I do remember I started the story about the chick who I was like, we're already walking in it. It's just a space of self-awareness, right? And acceptance of self and knowing who the fuck we are. Like, I was going to study telepathy, and I still will, because now that I've come to the terms to understand that I am telepathic, now I can go and study it for real, for real. Like, we study things because we're trying to understand it, but once we truly understand it, now we just study it to learn what's possible. Oh, I could do that too? That's way different than, man, I wish I could do that. You know what I'm saying? But now that I know that I'm telepathic, I could go watch those videos from the perspective of, yo, I could do that too. And then I'll start doing it. So now I can go watch telepathy videos and figure out how to use this gift that I just came into knowing that I've always possessed. But when I was sitting with the young lady at the wellness center, Mind, Body, and Beyond Wellness Center, check me out, 2601 North 3rd Street, West 3rd Street, somewhere over there, Suite 101. Come to my sister circle on the 19th. Check us out. LonnieLifestyle.com. The flyer is there if you're in the Arizona area. Hey, Carbs. And so I'm sitting there with Shar, and Shar, she's got the crystals. The crystals have been charged in the vortexes of Sedona. So those of you who are into crystals, you know, these are real crystals that have been prayed over by shaman and monks and charged in the vortexes. Like, y'all want a for real crystal that when you hold it in your hand, made my birthday week of self-love, me love myself. Happy birthday, sis. And I'm so happy you loved on yourself. You deserve it. We all deserve it. You should feel relaxed. That means you had your mind in the right place and you didn't rush yourself to your self-time. We all rush ourselves to our self-love because we got to get back to life. Nah, take your time, sister. Yeah, Sunday, I will try to remember. If I don't, it's not because I didn't try to remember. I'll remember like 2 days later, like, what day is it? But no, I love you. But, so anyway, she takes one of these crystals because I'm like, I want to tap into my intuition, you know. So she hands me one of these crystals and she goes and she walks me through this where she's like, go into the center of you. And I'm not doing this right, but she's like, drop into the center of you. And what does that feel like? Now drop into the center of the stone. And what does that feel like? And merge the two. And she's like, what do you see? I was like, well, first, when it was just separate, the center of the stone, I saw like a volcano looking situation. Thank you, dear. I saw like a little volcano looking situation. And then when I merged the two, the word prideful flashed across my eyes. Like, it wasn't like in the movies where it's like prideful. The problem is we doubt our intuition because our intuition doesn't show up the way that it shows up in TV. You know what I'm saying? And so we're waiting for the Harry Potter prideful come across the screen. No, but the word prideful came across my mind's eye. And so when she was like, well, what do you see? I was like, well, I see the word prideful. And she kind of was taken aback because maybe she expected it to be something. But, you know how us clairvoyants, we going to explain it away, you know, because everything does have meaning. It just takes us a second. Like, we're all expecting the meaning to be direct. And that's why we doubt someone's intuitive gift, because we expect the meaning to be direct. But if an intuitive has to stop and think about something and make sense of it, it means that your truth is just now manifesting for them too. Whether they're able to connect to your higher self and tell you a message on behalf of your higher self, that doesn't mean that they have to drop back into their own consciousness to make sense of what they downloaded. Do you understand? So when an intuitive or a clairvoyant, you say something to them, or boom, they deliver a message to you. Because I had a reading. I have a video somewhere. It's in the sister support folder playlist. It's in the sister support playlist. But I got a reading at the beginning of this year, and she was talking about all this healing stuff and all this, you know, you could go into the healing arts or you can go into nursing. And I was like, I never did no healing, and I definitely don't want to be no nurse. I'm a goddamn masseuse, you guys. The fuck? Like, this reading made no sense in January, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, let's see how we can make this make sense, because we have to understand a part of manifestation, a part of leveling ourselves up, is to look at things in such a different way that we are forcing it to make sense. Do you understand? There is a level of illusion. There is a level of illusion in evolving yourself up, because you have to believe something that you've never believed in is possible, which means you are crazy. I remember on one of my videos where I said my husband promised me that I could live my best whimsical life, and someone said, "You sound delusional." I said, "I sound delusional to you, but to me, I have always been able to do what the hell I want to my entire life." I look at my life and I understand that even when I was homeless, I was never sleeping on the street. I always had somewhere to go. I always had food to eat. No, I didn't always have food to eat, but even in my poverty of my childhood, I was still taken care of. Now, was I taken care of the way that I desired to be taken care of? Of course not. Was I eating food from the food pantry where they give out free groceries? Yes, I was. Or that was at my friend's house. At my house, my mom sold all the food stamps, so there was no food. Hey, Ree, so it's like, I was thinking about you today. I was like, Ree done just fell off the side of the earth. It's flat, so I believe it's possible. I don't know if it's flat. I just know when the Bible hit me up with not the bow fat, that's probably something else. Whatever the thing is where there's an ocean in the sky, because the sky separated the two oceans. Ever since, the Bible hit me up with that, I ain't been the same. That messed me up real good. No, I'm like, where's the second ocean? But I'm not going to get onto that because that had me stuck. Bye. Oh, yes, we will catch up. But, that had me stuck for a good 16 hours. I was stuck on the sky ocean. But I ain't gonna let it get me tonight. I'm gonna deliver these messages. But yeah, if we open up our understanding that when someone is delivering a message for us from higher consciousness, and if we trusted our intuition enough, look, if you sit down with the phony, you sat down with the phony didn't sit down with you, which means you trusted either yourself or your intuition to align with said phony that you don't want to believe. So that's some self-checking and some self-loving you need to do for yourself to understand that you came to this person didn't come to you. So what in you attracted this person? And so instead of saying that what they're saying to you isn't true, if you understand that you are connected enough to your higher self that whatever you experience in life is for your higher good, even if this person is talking out the side of their motherfucking neck, something about what they're saying is for you. And the thing is, they may say 10 things, right? Because I did a reading. My mentor was like, tell me about my mom. I was like, oh shit, I don't even know how to do that. But I know that when I channel, well, clearly I channel audioly, but I also automatic write. So I sit down with my journal and I was like, all right. I said her mom's name. I ain't gonna say that because her mom was I had to get that energy. I had to sage after that one. I was like, whoo, get up out of here. And now that I done said your name in my head, clear me, cancel, clear, delete. I don't want no parts of that woman up in here. But anyway, she said, tell me about my mom. And like all this stuff, when I was writing, I was just like, this is some crazy stuff I'm sitting here writing. I can't tell this woman this stuff about her mother but the one thing is, she said, be as blunt as possible. So when she said be as blunt as possible, that kind of gave me an indication that whatever I was to channel would be some harsh reality stuff, but then in the physical world, I'm thinking, well, is the things that I'm thinking, because I'm thinking, but I'm downloading, I know now. I'm about to tell you how to discern when you receive messages. Help me remember that. I don't need y'all to help me remember that. All right, so anyway, Damn, I lost both of them. They'll come back though. Hello, Billy. Yeah. Anyway, I do massages now with these hands, these swollen up, arthritic hands. Your mentor and her mom. Thank you. You know how long I've been waiting for someone to tell me what I was talking about, because I'm always like, what was I talking about? Nobody says nothing. I was like, y'all must not care either. It be hurting my feelings. So the fact that you remembered, that just blesses my soul so much, Ree. Thank you. Yes. My mentor and her mother. I had to discern, was I using what I know of her, which I don't know much? Or was I really receiving messages? So while I'm receiving these messages, thank you, Reese. So while I'm receiving these messages, some really gnarly stuff is coming up. And I'm like, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to deliver the message she asked. So I delivered the message, and I'm not going to tell you this woman's business, but when she was like, okay, here goes. And some of the stuff I said was accurate. And the stuff that I said that was accurate was some far out stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I had her height by 2 inches. I said she was 5'4". She said my mom was 5'2". You know, I had her profession down. I knew what this woman was in life. I knew what she struggled with in this lifetime. But I also said some other stuff that didn't make no goddamn sense. So that's how I want you to understand. If you are going through life and you understand that everything that you encounter is for your higher good. Because remember, we're just going through life and we're collecting stuff. We're collectors now, right? We're collecting all these different things. We're like, we don't even know what this is for, but one day it's gonna make sense. So we're just collecting it. We can choose to collect it peacefully, or we can choose to collect it painfully. It depends on our perspective. But we're collecting all these different things, and then eventually as we go through life and we raise our consciousness, because through collecting things raises our consciousness, because we are using the things that we're collecting instead of using it to weigh us down because we're collecting things. No, we're collecting things to lift ourselves up, or we're collecting things to weigh ourselves down. We choose which one. But if we choose to lift ourselves up, now those things can start coming forth, and now we can start using our past to propel us forward, because we collected all the things. Oh, I know exactly what to do here because I faced something similar in the past and I learned from it. So I know exactly what to do here, and because I know exactly how to unlock this door, I can now advance to the next level. Do you understand that if you are not advancing in any area in your life, it's because you are choosing not to pay attention to this area? It's a freaking, what do you call those things? Those rooms, those escape rooms. You are stuck in the room, and you've been stuck in the room, some of you, for years, for decades, for a lifetime you've been stuck in this room. And it's simply because you will not remember where you left the key. And all you have to do is, as you experience, is it in this drawer? No, but this lesson is in this drawer, so I have to learn this lesson. I know not to open that drawer again. But because we did not learn this lesson, here we are again. Is it in this drawer? No, but this lesson is in this drawer. I'm going to learn this lesson, so I don't have to open this drawer again. But then if we didn't learn the lesson, then we go and we come back. We're like, is it in this drawer? Do you understand how we choose our loops? So if we are not learning from everything, then we are spinning our wheels and we are choosing to stay stuck. We are choosing to stay in trauma when we need to stay in a space of, I pulled this into me for what? How can I use this as my next step to take me to my destiny? Because once we say higher self, God consciousness, ascended masters, goddess Isis, that is how I identify. Help me. Help me to be clear on my destiny in this lifetime. Help me to impact who it is that I am to impact in this lifetime. Help me to move into my divinity. Help me to move into my God consciousness. Help me to know who I am in this lifetime, because in knowing who I am in this lifetime, I'm able to help others know who they are in this lifetime. Thank you for the privilege to wake others up. Thank you for using me as the beacon of light. Because you choose to move through me, I am healing. I am blessed. Because in order for me to heal and to bless, I must be. So thank you for choosing me. Nothing in my past was ever meant to keep me cemented to any particular space, any particular behavior, any type of ideology. To stay cemented is a choice. And I choose to use anything that has happened to me in this lifetime, anything that will happen to me. I am excited about whatever will happen to me. And I'm vibrating at a frequency where the things that I fear could happen to me will not even touch me, because the level that I vibrated at to experience this in the first place, I don't even know how to get back to that level. So why am I allowing that to haunt me present day? In my manifestations today, the me that I want to be today, why am I allowing that to keep me grounded, cemented into something that should have never been, but it was? So now let's use it. So thank you, and I pray. These are the type of prayers that I pray. These are the type of things that I put out into the universe for myself. I don't have bad days anymore. I use everything for my higher good. Why? Because I deserve it. You deserve it too. You have to believe that you deserve it too. And if you don't believe in every aspect of your life that you deserve all good things, you are not there yet. And it's okay. You should get excited to know that this isn't the... A lot of y'all in your current states of your evolution, because if you could rock with me, you are evolving. People who aren't evolving can't be around me, and that's okay, because I'm not for them yet. That's why I document everything, because when they finally do get on board, they could go all the way from the bottom and take it to the top. But those of you who can understand me, and can receive the messages that I'm delivering, even though I forgot my message. But I thank you all. I thank you all for allowing me to speak over you and to speak into you, because I know that's a big thing, to trust someone to speak life over you. But you have to think how often in a day you allow people willingly to speak death over you. Every time somebody, we be real careful. Sister, can I pray for you? Can I pray for you? No, I'm good. I don't let everybody pray over me. You bet! Because you understand, in order for you to express that anger to someone else, you had to experience it. Like, what happened inside of you for you to well up to get outside of character? You understand? So for something to take you out of character, which actually just puts you in character, that's just your repressed self. But for something to take you out of character means that you had to experience an emotion, which means you had to flood your own body with toxicity even to express said emotion. Do you understand? You need to stop feeling justified in, well, they did this, so I now can do this because society says it's okay, but it's society living your life. So do you want to stay limited based on society rules? Or do you want to say, I can experience adversity without having to become a part of it, i.e. giving it energy destroying my manifestation, destroying my future, destroying my present, destroying my life. You have to understand, every time you accept brokenness as a way of being in your life, you are destroying your life. And I know that seems huge, because it is. Every second creates the next second. Let's stop thinking every day creates the next day, so we have a lot of time to fluctuate. And I spend 90% of the day okay. It's that 10% that messed you up. If God deals in absolutes, thank you, Ree. If God deals in mathematics, if this entire world, universe, however you identify, is just one big mathematical code, which it is, math wouldn't make sense if everything wasn't math. Do you understand? Everything doesn't make sense, but math makes sense. It applies to everything. Like, you're going to use math one day. No, I'm not. The words that are coming out of my mouth are at a freaking sound frequency. What are sound frequency but mathematics? Everything is math. We use math all the time. To think, you are computing. To blink, there is some sort of number, quantitative something going on for your eyes to blink. And if something in your body where you're not blinking right, I bet you there's some sort of mathematical equation that will solve it. I don't know, I'm not mathy, but I know I'm talking that stuff. So we do use math. Math is absolute. So then we can understand, and we can take that knowing into manifestation, into blessings from our creators, however you want to look at it. If we take the knowing that everything is an equation, everything is absolute, you will stop living your life so fluctuating. I don't know what the word is, right? Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. I'm 90% okay. This is absolute. 100%. No matter what you're going through, stay on your motherfucking square. Period. Who's in charge? Like, that makes me so fucking aggravated, but it was me too. Who's in charge? Fluid, not fixed. Yes. You have to decide who is in charge of your life. And in that, you do need to be fixed. But in that fixivity, you need to be fluid. I'm not going to talk about that. Spiritual people be getting on my nerves because they always feel like, well, I'm receiving a download, so I have to deliver it. Spirit told me a long time ago, that's how I have been able to shift from, posting 12 videos a day because I got to deliver every goddamn message, to, being okay with losing messages. You know what I'm saying? Just because Spirit gave me a download, just like everything that comes to your mind doesn't need to be said, every download doesn't need to be delivered. And so when I'm speaking to other conscious beings, and they're just like, first of all, half you people talking about receiving a download, you're lying. You don't know yourself enough to receive a download. Now, everybody can receive a download, but downloads are truly something that's helping you unlock something within inside of you. Not somebody who's just trying to, jump on the wave of, ooh, we could receive downloads, me too. That's your spirit of discernment. But anyway, why not? What is Spirit telling you to say? Oh, what was Spirit telling me to say? I don't know, but I shouldn't have said it. I try not to offend people anymore. My truth doesn't need to be said. Even though I've experienced something that can be a learning opportunity, I have evolved to the state or the space in my consciousness that I understand, just because this can be a lesson someone can learn from, am I willing to put this person in the line of fire to teach the lesson? You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll rarely stop. I don't like it. Stop. I don't like it. you'll rarely see me speak on my husband anymore. Now, I'll have conversations with my husband, but going forward, you're going to rarely hear me use him or what we're going through on a daily basis. Remember, my old videos would be, we just had an argument and here's what I learned from it. Because that was the level of consciousness I was in, because we have to learn that we can talk through things and we can disagree and we can have these things, and there's fluidity within the relationship, And so those videos were necessary. Talking about him, or what he refers to as me being a man hater and throwing him under the bus, was necessary. At least he allowed me to do it. Even though he felt the way that he did, he still allowed me to do it. So blessings that I married the man who allowed me to use our life as a classroom to help other people see what's going on. Other black men and women and other people in general. But, we out here 80s epidemic babies trying to figure this out, trying to be married and ain't never seen. I want you to stop putting your head in front of my face. Do you understand? Okay. Thank you. We out here trying to figure this thing out. And he's willing to allow me to use him in a way to help others figure this out. But we have moved to a space in our relationship that I have caused so much turbulence in our relationship. And I won't say this is one-sided, because my husband is also accountable for his role, but I'm speaking for myself. I have uprooted our relationship so much in the lie that we were living, that we now have to stop. I don't want to kiss. That we now have to figure out how to restructure and rebuild. And some of you guys are in the space in your marriages where you have pulled all the roots up and it's so ugly. And you have to decide at this time, is what the foundation that you have founded your relationship on. Know that most people who got together don't even like each other. Didn't even like each other when they got together. Kaden, go find me some food. I'm hungry. Go do me a solid. Go bring me food. Okay. And so, a lot of you guys created your marriages and your relationships on rocky foundations. So once you have woken up to this isn't the life that you desire, and you start doing work to move into the life that you desire, and now you've uprooted everything and you're looking unfamiliar to your family, and your family's looking unfamiliar to you, and you're just like, okay, now what? Well, the first thing you have to identify is you need to look at the life that you uprooted, and is this the life that you want? You have to be honest. Some of us have kids that we don't want. And that's not you don't want to take care of them, that you don't want them on this earth. That just means you created an entire life with humans that you produced that wasn't even the life that you want for yourself, but you allowed life to happen to you. So we have to catch our young ladies a lot sooner than when we're catching them, so they could stop believing the lie that they have no ownership over their lives. So as you look, you can't do nothing about them kids. You got them kids. But you can start raising those children in a way that you actually like them. Instead of allowing society to raise your children, instead of allowing your children to develop in whoever that they're going to develop into, and you accept it because this is the typical prototype. Of course, there's an archetype for your kid to fit into. Everybody has a fucking archetype if they choose it. Even your brand of spirituality has an archetype. Pay attention to that. Make sure that you're able to look into, and this is what my mentor said. My mentor said going to all these different places on the internet to get information is like having unprotected sex. And I understand what she's saying. But I do understand that there's a level of consciousness that you can elevate to. And I keep talking about consciousness because this is honestly what this is. This is an ascension. This isn't what's the thing that you guys say? What do you guys say? Vibration. No, it's not a vibration. It's consciousness. Your vibration and your ability to remain consistent within your vibration is what elevates your consciousness to the point where you don't even have to worry about keeping your vibration up. I'm not there yet, but I'm pretty damn close. I got my Reiki attunement a couple weeks back, and that sent myself into a whole vibrational tailspin. I went a whole week of just bitch mode, and I just was like, what the hell is happening? I done lost my mojo. And then by the end of the week, I was able to get back in my square, and I was just like, okay. And then it computed in my head that what I was experiencing was all that gook being kicked out through my Reiki attunement. And so energetically, I was just going crazy. But otherwise, I don't have to worry about my vibration. I'm vibrating at a frequency that's going to draw to me whatever it is that I desire. Now, I still have things within my head because I'm still human, right? I still have X amount of years. I'm no longer saying my age, nor am I'm aging backwards from today forward. I'm done believing the lie that I must get older. Why? Why can't I be Benjamin Button? I bet you, as I believe every year that my birthday does come around and I'm a year younger, I bet you I'll start aging backwards. Let's just see. Why can't we believe that that's possible? If I believe it's possible, I bet you I'll start aging backwards. Just like everything that you've watched me experience, those of you who have been here since you've been here, everything that I said that I'm going to do, I have done. Everything that I said I'm going to figure out. If you're still in the audience, there's things that I've said to you in DMs that I said that I was going to do that I'm doing right now. And when I said it, I had no idea how I was going to do it. And I even said half the time, I was like, I feel silly saying this, but this is just what I know is real. And now it's happening. See? And so I'm not unique. I'm unique in the way that I'm able, like my gift is to be able to explain this to you. I'm unique in that way. I'm the only one. Maybe there's other ones out there. There's other enlightened beings. I work with a bunch of enlightened beings. But their gifts aren't my gift. And I'm sitting there like, yo, I want to be able to do that too. I want to, I met the acupuncturist. I had a headache the other day. And he was like, I don't know what part, because his hand was in the way. So I was like, he was explaining, but he was like, if you're having a headache, hold your earlobes. And this is one part of your brain. This is reflexology. I don't know. Anyway, shit. And then you hold the front part of your thing, and you hold that, and that's like the frontal lobe, like the whole doop is like the whole doop. So this is the frontal lobe, and this is the center cortex. I don't know what the hell. And then back here, like up in the crunch is something, and then something here like that. All I know is by the time I finished doing that shit, I didn't have a headache no more. In the microwave? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Lots of ketchup, please. Not lots of ketchup. Bring me the ketchup and I will distribute my own. And you got to do it for 3 minutes. Don't bring me no cold ass chicken and fries. And you got to turn my chicken nuggets open. Man, you just did me, man. I'm going to be in gratitude. Thank you, baby, for making me some food.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. I had to walk myself through that. Yes, the human body is fascinating. It is. Yeah, so you do all the little things. And then, my sister, she was like, oh, I never told you how to clear yourself. So what she said, I'll have to stand up and show y'all. Don't Go. Now go flip my chicken nuggets over and put them in there for another minute. I'm going to teach you how to clear yourself.
That may go long.
I don't know. Shut my door. Oh, shoot. Oh, because I got all these damn cords. Let me go this way then. That would have been too smart. Y'all know I don't got no common sense. All right. So she said, you want to go outside, take your socks and your shoes off. She said go stand in the rocks. It may have just been because there was only rocks to stand in, or maybe you're supposed to go stand in the rocks. I didn't ask that question. It's your intentions. You stand wherever the hell you want to. That's true spirituality. We like, okay, how exactly do I do it? No. How exactly do you do it? Anyway, she said, come stand out here in the rocks. And she said, my arms are aching. Hold your arms up like this, fingertips touching, like you're trying to pull them out the socket. And you look up and she said, everything in threes. If y'all can see my underwear, I'm sorry. Y'all gonna get this lesson, or you gonna focus on the fact you can see my underwear. Anyway, so you reach up and you deep breath. 3 times. And then reach all the way up. Then she said go. Touch the ground and give it to the earth. Hang your head between your legs. Then you go back up again and you stretch. And that's how you get them motherfuckers up off you. So if you walking around with energies that don't belong to you, and you out in the backyard chopping wood and shit with the goddamn sledgehammer, gonna get them motherfuckers up off you the real way, sis. You're welcome. This is what y'all get when y'all come to a lesson with Lonnie every Thursday night at the Wellness Center. I'm just saying. Mind, Body, and Beyond Wellness Center. I was like, well, what am I going to teach tonight? I'm not teaching nothing. You tell me what to teach. If you show up, I'm going to teach you something. Don't I always teach you something? So, all right, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's my ketchup?
I got it.
That hot. Well, yeah, me and Simply Beauty Boutique, or Nene, I was delivering messages for her last night. She's writing a relationship book. And I was like, well, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to read your book. But, boom, there's my feedback. And so I was able to channel her a message from her higher self so that she can go in and do the rewrites for a book in accordance to her higher consciousness desire. I do the same thing to hot food. Well, because he put them in the microwave, I'm like, are these cold or hot? And so I bit one. It was hot. Alrighty, sis. I'ma go. I really want to watch TV, but my TV doesn't work. I need a new Fire Stick. So I ain't watched no K-dramas in so long. I'm feeling naked. I need a good K-drama. I enjoy you stopping in with me tonight, sis. I miss you. But I understand, because I've evolved to a state of consciousness where I can't maintain relationships that I was maintaining before anyway. Not that I can't, but it'll take work, if that makes sense. And it's not that it's a problem. It's just that I have so much going on over here. I have so much going on over here in order to maintain over here, but that's also the you know, don't forget where you came from. You still have to find time. So that's why I may not have time to message back and forth with you anymore. But when I see you in the audience, I could channel a message for you. I could speak directly to you, and I can let you know that we still gang, even though our gang don't look like how it used to look. So, I appreciate you, sis. I'm in a state of discovery and learning myself. I'm still here. Amen. All right. I love you, sis. Thank you.